All right, so I wanted to make you guys another video where I show you the process of what we want you to do this week. So last week, hopefully you took the picture that you found on the internet and used your screen as like a light box to trace. So I showed you how to do that last week. You guys can see I kind of have my image traced out already. I started off in pencil and then I just took my fine point Sharpie and was starting to go on top of all of my lines with Sharpie. So that's where I would start, is just going on top of every pencil line that you have with Sharpie. If you don't have a Sharpie, by the way, you can use a black Prismacolor or maybe like a really nice black pen just for like the outlining parts. But any black marker would work for sure. Okay, so step one, outline everything with Sharpie. The next thing you guys are gonna have to do is make sure that your picture is pulled up on your computer screen while you're working. You're gonna have to decide, what do you want to be black and what do you want to be white? So we're gonna try and break down this picture into mainly black and white areas. So I'm gonna go ahead and start off with like really easy area. So this part of the flag, go ahead and start to kind of fill this in with black. And I'm not gonna have you guys watch me do this whole thing, but I want you to get the idea here. So it's a little bit time consuming, but you get the picture here. You're gonna go ahead and fill in anything that's like obviously black with your black marker. You might run into an issue, and actually I kind of chose this to show you for a reason. You might run into an issue where you have two black areas butted up next to each other. So for example, this part of my flag that I'm working on getting filled in right now butts up next to his hair. And if you're looking at my photo here, his hair is black, that part of the flag is black. What am I gonna do? My suggestion is you can leave like almost like a little white halo for the top of his head. It's gonna kind of look like a highlight. So that's where the light would be shining anyway. So I'm basically making like a fine line up there that is going to end up being like this white line that separates my two black areas. So if you have two black areas next to each other and you would like them separate, you don't want them to become one enormous black blob, you want them to each, maintain their edges, then just kind of create like another line, and you're gonna create like almost like a white little halo or a white little highlight that's gonna separate those two items. So I would continue and go and fill in this part of the flag with black. His jacket's gonna be black. When I get up to his face, I might want to start to introduce some areas of gray. So how am I gonna do like a gray area? You guys can think back to when we did our shoe project and try out some hatching or cross hatching. This is gonna kind of have a look like a graphic novel. If you guys have ever read like The Walking Dead or something, they do this a lot in graphic novels like that. So if I want to do like a gray area, what you can do is just do like some simple hatching. Like this, and it's gonna kind of end up looking like a shadow. I could do some cross hatching if I want this area to be really dark. I can go in and kind of continue these lines. So get the idea here on how to create like a gray area. What else? For his shirt, you guys will notice he has a bunch of stripes on his shirt. So the way that you can do that is first fill in the areas that are black. That's where I would start, since that's kind of the easiest thing, is filling in your black areas. So take your time and fill those in. And then for like the stripes, you can go ahead and try to do some hatching, cross hatching, and see how that's gonna look when you put those things next to each other. You don't have to do a ton of hatching or cross hatching with this project. I've definitely had kids turn this in and there's been very limited hatching and cross hatching. It still looked great. My suggestion to you guys, if I haven't already mentioned this, is there are some printmaking examples that I posted on my Google Classroom, and I think the other teachers posted on their Google Classroom, where you guys can look and see what other students have done in the past, because we are trying to get like a high contrast sort of image that's reminiscent of Kathy Kolwitz's work. And so you guys can get onto Google Classroom, look at the printmaking examples, and you'll see kind of the look that we're going for here. So basically, start off by tracing everything. Don't forget to do your border in black. Then you can go in and start to fill in your black areas just with solid black. And then for any areas that you want to be gray, you can think about doing some hatching or cross hatching. And then of course you can leave some areas white. I have a finished product for you guys because I am fancy like the cooking shows. So you guys can see here what the finished product looks like, and you can see how it kind of compares to the picture. So we have our black areas, we have white areas, and then I have a few different values of gray. You don't have to get carried away with the gray hatching, cross hatching areas if you don't want to, but I just wanted to demonstrate that in case you wanted to know. So if you guys have any questions about what you're supposed to be doing this week, make sure you talk to your teachers, email us, get in contact with us in some way. Looking forward to seeing your work.